Alex Eala set for Kooyong Classic Duel versus Donna Vekic ahead of Australian Open. Filipino tennis star Alex Eala will sharpen her form ahead of the season's first Grand Slam, when she faces Croatia's Donna Vekic in an exhibition match at the Kooyong Classic in Melbourne. Eala arrives in Australia riding strong momentum after a semi-final run at the ASB Classic in Auckland, where she ousted Vekic in the opening round. The rematch is set for January 14th during the Kooyong Classic, scheduled from January 13th to 15th, serving as Eala's final tune-up before the Australian Open. The exhibition also marks another milestone for the 20-year-old, who recently climbed to a career-best number 49 in the WTA rankings. The Kooyong Classic is a singles-only professional exhibition, featuring invited ATP and WTA players. Joining Eala and Vekic in the field are world number 121 and local favorite Priscilla Hahn, along with multiple Grand Slam mixed doubles champion Daniela Hantuchova. Eala's match on Wednesday, January 14th, will be the third in the day after Lena Tien versus Marin Cilic and Denis Shapovalov versus Jordan Thompson. Alex Eala, a rising star's moment under the Melbourne sun. In the quiet dawn of an Australian summer, when the crispness of the Southern Hemisphere's early light meets the promise of a new tennis season, Alex Eala stands poised on the brink of something extraordinary. For the young Filipino phenom, barely 20 years old yet already steeped in a story of persistence, breakthrough, and national pride, the Kooyong Classic is more than an exhibition match. It's a portal into her next chapter. Tomorrow, at the historic Kooyong Lawn Tennis Club in Melbourne, Eala will face Croatia season campaigner Donna Vekic in what promises to be a compelling duel, a narrative that folds back upon itself, echoing the memorable clash only days earlier and pointing forward toward the bright lights of the 2026 Australian Open. From Auckland grit to Melbourne determination, Alex Eala's journey into the Kooyong spotlight began not in Melbourne but in Auckland, New Zealand. At the season's first stop in the 2026 ASB Classic, she played one of the most dramatic matches of her young career, a three-set showdown against Vekic. After dropping the first set, she stormed back to clinch victory in a match that tested her stamina, nerve, and belief. This wasn't just a win on paper. It was a statement, a testament to Eala's growing mental resolve and her ability to compete with seasoned veterans. Vekic, an Olympian silver medalist and a stalwart of the WTA circuit, was not a simple first-round opponent. For many up-and-coming players, she represents the benchmark of experience and tactical discipline. Yet Eala dismantled that narrative, finding her rhythm and asserting herself on crucial points under pressure. That match, lasting more than 2 hours, was more than athletic competition. It was a microcosm of tension versus tenacity, youth versus experience, and above all, a defining moment for a player stepping confidently into tennis's big leagues. Kooyong Classic, more than just an exhibition. Unlike the structured tension of a Grand Slam draw, the Kooyong Classic is an invitational event with a select roster of players using the exhibition as a final warm-up before the Australian Open. Yet for Eala, this tournament carries weight beyond its informal status. It represents a bridge between preparation and destiny, a connective tissue between her rise in rankings and her debut as a main draw player in Melbourne's Grand Slam proper. In recent weeks, the Filipino star has risen to a career-high ranking of world number 49, a milestone that cements her place among the world's elite and propels her into the narrative of serious contender. Kooyong's grass courts, famous for their heritage, their aura, and their role as a precursor to the high drama of the Australian Open, now serve as the setting for Eala's next mission, a rematch with Vekic. But this is not just tennis redux. It is storytelling through sport, a chance for Eala to reinforce her ascendancy, sharpen her instincts, and deepen her psychological edge. The mental game, refinement under fire. Tennis is more than physical prowess. It is a game of inches, split-second decisions, and psychological momentum. The sport's greatest players, from Serena Williams to Roger Federer, from Rafael Nadal to Ashley Barty, have spoken about the intangible edge that separates the good from the great. Eala's progress suggests she is beginning to cultivate that edge herself. Against Vekic in Auckland, Eala endured a shaky start, losing the first set. But instead of crumbling, she found clarity in chaos, recalibrating her tactics, tightening her shot selection, and injecting greater aggression into her game plan. This shift was not just about physical movement, it was mental mastery. Coming back from a deficit against an experienced opponent requires a belief system rooted in resilience, self-trust, and strategic confidence. Now, As she prepares for another meeting with Vekic on a different surface and in a different context, Eala brings not just tactical memory but emotional growth. She knows what Vekic's strengths are. She has first-hand knowledge of her own response under pressure. Kooyong is an opportunity to refine those lessons, testing them in a match that balances competitive intensity with strategic preparation. A rising flag and the burden of expectation. For Filipino sports fans, Alex Eala's ascent is more than a professional journey. It's national pride on global display. She stands alongside the country's most beloved athletes, carrying not only her personal aspirations but the hopes of a community hungry for representation on tennis's grandest stages. Her achievements, from junior success to breaking into the WTA Top 50, to stunning victories in WTA events, resonate deeply with fans back home. They have watched her navigate adversity, celebrate breakthrough wins, and push past limitations that once seemed imposing. Every forehand winner and every clutch breakpoint feels amplified through the lens of Filipino support and celebration. With that support comes expectation, a kind of emotional weight that can both fuel and challenge a young athlete's focus. Yet Eala has demonstrated a remarkable ability to filter the noise, using the crowd's energy as fuel rather than distraction. It's a balance that only the most mature competitors master, and Eala's progress suggests she is learning this lesson with growing sophistication. Why this match matters, beyond the scoreboard. At first glance, an exhibition match against a familiar opponent might seem like a warm-up, a nice bit of practice before the big show. But in the context of Eala's career, this Kooyong duel carries layers of meaning. Confidence reinforcement, beat Vekic once, do it again. Confirming her results against high-caliber players reinforces the belief that she belongs on tennis's biggest stages. Strategic experimentation, with less pressure than a slam match, Eala can trial tactical variations, adjusting serve placement, changing return positions, or testing new shot patterns. Momentum building. A strong performance here sets psychological tone for the Australian Open, where each match will test stamina, skill, and composure under the spotlight. Narrative continuity. Stories matter in sports. A rematch with Vekic creates narrative continuity, a compelling subplot that carries into the Open.